It is with great pride that I would like to present to you the best of the best from Pakistan. We're talking about financial inclusion. We've got some outstanding leaders of the banking community here. All in all, we have full function here. We have another two events today here in the Pakistan Pavilion. We have an event tomorrow at this presentation by the Sindh Investment Board with the Chief Minister is going to be the chief guest, but he has sent word that his name should be taken off as chief guest because the Foreign Minister, Mr. Bilawal Zardari, has also said that he is going to come to the lunch. And thereafter then we have a traditional Pakistan breakfast, which is the 18th version of its own, which we've had for 18 years now. I gave an incentive thing to some of the people who produce something that is really a miracle. That is the Asan mobile account. They produce a VRG switch, which basically led by Ali Shah. And we've at the moment got 16 banks on board and 4 telcos on board. And we had a lot of skepticism in the beginning. And I remember going to people, but I didn't have the chance to go to Zafar Masud Sahab. But Shazad and Kabeer, Naqvi, they literally had to bully their staff. It's a good thing. Let's work on it. But anyway, thank you very much. Thank you, everybody. And without further ado, I will give it to Alisha. Please, you take over. Thank you.
So, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Alisha. I basically lead one of the best software companies in the world with my very young team. I'm the oldest in the Brat Pack. And we basically work on financial and healthcare solutions. So today, the topic that we're going to talk today is really close to my heart. I've invested nearly a decade of my life on it. That is financial inclusion, poor man's banking, giving the people the hope to survive, to get access to finance, to change their lives. We would actually like to move forward to our keynote of the day on financial inclusion and digital banking, which would be delivered by Mr. Zafar Masud. He's the CEO, President of Bank of Punjab.
So before I kind of commence with my formal presentation, I must like to thank and acknowledge Pathfinder and Martin Dow Group for inviting us to Davos, and to the organizers of today's event, which is Karachi Council for Foreign Relations and Swiss Asian Chamber of Commerce. Pakistan has immense potential. Great strides have been made in the domain of financial inclusion in the country. Pakistan surely is on the development journey. Not just the government itself, but the entire ecosystem, I would say, is fully committed to national and global development goals, including the UN's Sustainable Development Goals, which, one way or the other touches in what I talk about later in the presentation. Pakistan is the 5th most populous country in the world, with most of the population resides in rural areas, which is 63%. Now that's very important to highlight because that then gives the opportunity for more digital initiatives to be taken on board for better accessibility and financial inclusion. Interestingly enough, Pakistan's 61% of the population is between 15 years and 54 years, which is the right bankable, population to begin with. But then there is another big opportunity. The 35%, which is the second largest bracket, is below 15 years. And these are the people which are ready for the tomorrow's banking. We are very proud to execute with the government of Punjab was on the entrepreneurship initiative, whereby we established the self-sustaining revenue stream, leasing locally manufactured vehicles, started transportation businesses of their own. Creation of 70,000 jobs, particularly women, and disbursement of 41 billion to date. We look forward to the future of digitization in the Bank of Punjab. We called it the next generation banking.
This is, it's a real pleasure for me and UBL to be representing in this August gathering and this forum. And Ikram Saab and Pathfinder, along with Martin Dow, thank you for inviting us and giving us this opportunity. It's a country that's going very fast. It's a country there's a lot happening. And just to echo one number that Ikram Saab was also talking about, last year, Karachi Stock Exchange, 100 top companies in Pakistan Stock Exchange, this does not include private companies, and there are a lot of private companies that are not listed, made net profit of 1 trillion rupees approximately. Now that's a very big number. Historic highs, including UBL, we had the best year in our history. So there's a lot of money being made, a lot is going on. There's a very conducive environment for people who are willing to come there, invest their capital and take risks. And I welcome any one of you virtually or physically come to Pakistan or electronically and come and see what we do. We can take any challenge, any service, any product, and we run it through our design lab, where we really take a lot of pain upfront trying to understand what is the objective of the provider and what are we trying to do it and how do we do it keeping in mind the audience and do it obviously in the most efficient, cost-effective manner. And alhamdulillah, it's worked out brilliantly for us.
I would like to introduce what we do. UBank as a bank, we are a bank, but we are a bank for the unbanked. Now, when we talk about financial inclusion, we feel, and I personally feel as a practitioner, you have to talk about social inclusion before you talk about financial inclusion. Because when you travel the length and breadth of Pakistan, you leave Karachi, Lahore, Islamabad, 50, 100 kilometers out, it's a different world. And my team and I take the suit out, I wear the shalwar kameez and I go. We do about 5,000-6,000 road miles every quarter. Meet our staff, the clients, and that is where you get perspective. When you see malnutrition with your own eyes, when you see lack of opportunity with your own eyes, then it changes you. And you know, then your vision obviously transforms. The problem in the past has been that the Islamic banks are commercial banks. On the asset side, they get sukuks and they're limited. With us, it is very different. Our asset is in the rural, so we are creating Islamic-based asset products in the rural Pakistan, which is the first of its kind, and we are getting phenomenal response. As far as deciding what product to offer to whom, I think a lot more has to be done by the industry to understand the client better. You know, because as I told you, I want to sell an app and give an app-based loan to a Hari in a field. That's not going to happen today. Maybe a rollover, yes, not an outright loan just yet. So I think in this space, I think the bank space is already, in my view, kind of saturated in KLI and other big cities, and great products are being offered by commercial banks.
I think there is a myth that as long as this RT system is working, probably true financial inclusion and inclusion of people, of the farmers into the formal segment would not be possible. I would rather like to differ with this statement, although this is the common understanding. So what I believe that we need to come up with ideas and thoughts where we can supplement that system and avoid exploitation of the farmers. So Bank of Punjab being at the forefront in developing agriculture, SME, housing markets and segment, especially with regard to the financing options, we have done a lot of work in this. So I would particularly like to refer to electronic warehouse receipt financing, which actually allows the farmer to, without any collateral, they just need to bring their produce to the certified godown, so certified warehouse, which is managed by a collateral management company. And the whole system is then digitally linked with the bank.
We are the only company in Pakistan who are having two different licenses. One is the TPSP and the PSOPSP, which one belongs to the banking side and one belongs to the telecom industry side. So by marrying these two licenses, the first time in the Pakistan and the Asia, we have implemented a many-to-many model, a part of one-to-one model. So let's take an example that ideally a Jazz Cash customer usually open up an account through only a Jazz SIM, there are only one telecom operator. But if a customer having a different that SIM and open a bank account in a different bank, what they will do? So this is something, the silos is actually not moving Pakistan into the real financial inclusion side. This is one of the biggest factors. So we have implemented a many-to-many solution where any account, any SIM holder in Pakistan can dial code, a short code, without having an internet, without having a smartphone, by using a USSD technology, and open up a bank account in any of the bank which is right now available. And we have right now 16 banks available on a menu, which is covering 92% of the banking space in Pakistan. So this is the biggest achievement right now we have made.
I do like to mention here, which I was told by my son not to use the word. And I used to call it a poor man's debit card. The poor man will never get MasterCard or Visa or whatever. And the mandate that I gave to Ali many years ago was, I want your man to be able to go to a rediwala and buy his fruit on his mobile. And that is the mandate they achieved. The rediwala can have his mobile account written there, right? And with that mobile account, this man can give this thing. And if I'm not mistaken, even if the guy does not have money in his account, you would give an instant credit because the credit have to be repaid. So we call it now a deprived person's debit card. But the fact is, that is the game changer for the poor people of Pakistan, for the deprived. That the man, first time, he has real financial access, not what we had. So and it's a fact of life today. We have done it. Just think about it. From 18% women having bank accounts to 32% women having bank accounts and spending money from that mobile card. So I thought I'd just interject a little bit. Thank you.
Previously, it was said there were two realities in life. One was taxes and the other was debt. Now there are three realities in life. And the third one is a very important one, and that's compliance. And financial sector, banking sector know pretty well that if you're not compliant, you're not compliant. And State Bank or any central bank will be after you. Similarly, this change in technology and revolution in technology and digital banking and open banking, all of those words which we're using, and obviously we are trying to use them in this environment, which is very right place, Pakistan being 220 million people. It is very important for us to understand that not only that there is a need for compliance, whether it's from MasterCard and Visa or whether it's from central bank, there is a responsibility for all business to make sure that their clients are secure. And I think this is where I have seen a lot of awareness over a period of 5 years. I would say that we are in the industry for the last 20 years. There is huge progress in Pakistan, a lot of awareness, and it is taken very, very seriously because everyone understands that the booming fintech sector is really nothing. It will collapse very quickly if there are one attack or there is one incident where the people are not comfortable. It's all the confidence. It's all the share price and the confidence, and this all comes at if there's a headline, you don't never want to be the headline in a newspaper or media. So I think this is why there is a lot of improvement, and I'm very glad to see that all of the banks are taking it very seriously, including central bank, and they're making sure that they are doing the right thing and they are protecting the vulnerables, which are our people, and they are opening the accounts and putting their money in.